Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I'm going to be ruining this perfectly good knife. We're going to anodize this. So this is a FM-1 by Cold Steel, premium S35VN, good heat treat on this. Very slim and slender tie scales, so the rest of everything else is just steel, nothing fancy. The finish that's on this, I believe it's just a standard like bead blast, which I'm not the biggest fan of working with bead blast because I don't really get too many vibrant colors. We're gonna do our best to get a multi-layered ano job on this, but of course first thing we got to do is take this thing apart. I'm going to do my best not to bore you guys with uninteresting things like taking it apart and putting it back together, so we're gonna pause it here. I'm going to show you what this thing looks like, make sure to clean it, whatnot, but just hang in there. Alrighty, so this thing is completely apart. Let's make sure to remove every single little bit and piece. At least with the FM-1, it's very important to remove the washer and the little nylon piece as well, to make sure you're working with just titanium, of course. Let's go ahead, take out the blade. It's really neat having this little shop mat that my wife got me, because it has like all these little cubbies and little spaces up there for all little nonsense and stop pins and the pivot. Let's get that thing out of there. There we go. Let's remove that. The reason why I'm working on this FM-1 tonight is because I have some time and I feel creative juices flowing, so why not, right? I have full intentions to have one color on the milling pattern and then a completely separate color on the high part. So the low part's one color, the high part a different color. You get the idea. I want to get as vibrant as a color in the grid, but it just depends on how much we can, I guess, clean up in there. So I'm gonna take this to the sink, give it a good scrub, a nice warm soapy water, and then what I'm gonna do to help bring out some brighter colors, essentially using a Winx rust remover as an etchant to eat away at the very, very surface of this material to hopefully tighten up the grain structure a little bit. I think it works that way, it might not. And we'll just kind of go from there. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we have these things freshly cleaned. We're gonna go ahead and put it in this Winx rust remover. Because the scales are essentially flush and flat, we're gonna do our best to give these guys a little bit of gap in between as they are resting in the acid, to hopefully make sure that all of the tie surface is properly being etched away. We're just trying to get the very surface layer of it. Another important thing to have nearby is a neutralizing solution. I have here in this little chopped up water bottle. It's just water and borax. It's a wonderful neutralizing solution to make sure to get off all of the Winx rust remover. And at that point, we can leave the scales submerged in it until we are ready and set up with our power supply and the main container that the anodizing is going to take place. So at this point, we just wait, and I will set up my thing and everything with the power supply. We're gonna see some cool color changing, the good stuff, of course. Alrighty, so now that we have all the bubbles forming, it's eating away at the very surface of the tie. See all those bubbles that are happening in there, all that cool stuff. Check that out. All right, now we're gonna take this out, put it in our neutralizing solution, and just leave it there. Now, we can go ahead, set this off to the side. We can set up our power supply, close this up, and we're on to the next step. Alrighty, so we have everything set up for the next step. Power supply is on, the leads are connected. I have a titanium wire in there. I have this on the positive lead over here. Those are ready to go and receive some power. It is at 85.68 volts. My goal is to get a nice, rich, vibrant as much as I can. It's damn near impossible to like polish the insides of the texturing there, but let's just see what we get. So we can go ahead and touch one of these guys. Nice bronze. We do these separately, it's not a big deal. Because they're still in the same container, they will change a little bit. They will change each other a tad bit. Getting some good greens in there. That's nice. That's nice. I want to get past the purple. I want no purple on this. It's looking good. All right. Now, let's touch the other one. Nice, nice. It's a cool color as well. Getting close, getting close. Almost there. All right, I need this one to get a little bit more green in it. It's just taking its sweet ass time. Looks like it stopped. Not too sure why. They're basically touching each other at this point. Yeah, it's fine if they are. So you see there is a little bit of difference between the two. My goal is to get all this nice green, nice and consistent within the grid pattern. This is still really purple, not too sure why. What I can do at this point is the one that I consider good, this one right here, I can actually pull that out and then bring up the voltage by half a volt just to, what's it called? Try to help it get there, you know what I mean? So I don't have this thing connected, so I can go ahead and get my tongs, pull this out, do my best not to scratch it up or anything. It's nice, it's nice. Just set it on a paper towel, nothing fancy. Leave it off to the side. Go ahead and scooch this dude over. Connect this, bring up to 86.5. It's fine, 86.6. Just need to get more green in there. It's close, but just need a little bit more green in there. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Shut off the power supply, make sure to give all the leads a second, because if they do come in contact with each other, they can still spark. All right, everything's disconnected. And go ahead and pull this other piece out of here, see what we're working with. Ooh. Okay, so they are a little bit different, and I haven't done any sort of finishing work to either of these. The only thing I've done is clean them off with warm soapy water and put them in the Winx Rust Remover to kind of help eat away at that surface finish. So let's see what we got. Pretty powdery, looks pretty good. See, this is drying up a little bit. Yeah, man, it's just too different. That's unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to do this again because I'm not happy with those results. So this one came out damn near perfect. I love the tone of teal that is in the grooves. This one you could see is just so much darker. I'm gonna have to kind of reset this scale. So I'm gonna leave this one as is. I'm gonna do my whole wings rust remover on this scale by itself. I know that's kind of a no-no sometimes, but I'm gonna go ahead and just try it out anyway. I'm willing to risk it. It's my knife, of course. Reset the scale back to its bead blast finish with the surface, you know, all nice and gray again, and then see what I can produce if I can get it as close as I can, just like this, because I think that's a beautiful color. So, all right, we're back. So, it's cleaned, ready to go. I'm leaving it at that extra 1/2 volt higher. Let's go. Nice and consistent looking. Got the bronze, got the silvers, blues, got the high voltage yellows, the pinks, the purples. We're getting into the blue. Come on, green. Let's go, baby. Getting close, getting close. Getting really close. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Okay. So, I think that's good. Let me, damn, yeah, that's really good. Let me get my things out right here. Oh. I think this is a match. I hope it is. I will show you guys in just a sec. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. And we got it. It's freaking beautiful. We got it. So that's what it needed. It just needed a reset. Now we got the same tinge of green within the grooves. It's still drying a little bit. It'll lighten up in a sec. But now, at this point, leave it as is. Just rock the scales. But I'm not going to leave it alone. Gotta ruin a good thing, right? I'm going to go ahead, sand off the high spots, leave the color beneath, and we'll go ahead and ano at a bronze. I think that'll be pretty neat looking. Be right back. And we are back. So, giving these guys a good polish. You can see it looks very beautiful, very consistent. Down in the grooves, it's the powdery bluish kind of teal thing that I was going for. There's a lot more green in person. My camera's having a difficult time picking up the green hues, but hopefully after putting this secondary layer of ano over it, it'll get filled in with bronze and it should make it pop because it's a pretty good contrast of color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dunk this guy. I'm just gonna do one at a time. Let's see, let's go up to, let's do 15 volts. Actually, let's see what 12 looks like. I'm very curious to see what 12 looks like. Nice, nice, very nice. So it looks more like a straw, like a toasted straw kind of color. Nothing super crazy. Let me go ahead and try to pick it out. I don't want to mark it up too much. Let's see what this looks like. And if I'm not happy with how this is and I want to darken it up at this point because I've touched it with my fingers, I'm going to go ahead and take it back into the kitchen, hot soapy water, just to make sure I don't get any sort of funky stains or marks. Some little fuzz right there. That's nice. That is really nice. Okay. Okay, so there is some smudging going on because of the water, but if I take a Clorox wipe, give this thing a nice little wipe down. Oh, that's really nice. I think that 12 is where we're going to hang out at. That's pretty neat. Yeah, it's like it's definitely a gold, that's for sure. So not super bronzy. It's more gold than anything. It's not too dark. I wouldn't really call this much of a bronze, more of a gold. But that is just pretty wild looking. It's pretty wild looking. I love how beautifully consistent that sheen is all the way through. But I mean, it still has, you know, that powdery blue undertone underneath it, but when light hits it, it's just like bam. There's the other side. I think that looks pretty darn neat. We're gonna run it as is. I'm gonna go ahead and not touch the other scale. I'm just gonna take my little tongs, drop this in right there, just so I don't physically contact it. I'm just gonna hit this thing. Very, very light color. Okay. I think that's good. Turn off the system. Disconnect everything. Pull these guys out. These guys, just the one scale. Pull that out. Give it a little Clorox wipe so you guys can see the real color of this. Should be identical to the other scale. There was no variation or room for any sort of inconsistency. that's what I gotta tell myself, right? So yeah, this one looks just as good. Just get this all nice and dried up. The milling frag pattern in the actual scales, it's not aggressive, but it still like picks at some of the little fuzz fibers of the paper towel, but I got most of it blown out of there. Take a look at these. That looks like a pretty good thumbnail right there, don't you think? But yeah, I'm pretty happy where my sanding hand sanding skills have come. They've definitely come a long way, where I don't have to do too many redos. You can see up there, even in the corners, little tight areas, it's still very consistent. Not any kind of like bleed through or patchiness. You see that the little scratch pattern semi-polish is, again, very consistent. Consistency is the key. I spent a good 45 minutes hand polishing these, and it's not a mirror polish, it is still reflective. My hands are very, very dry, but the second I put any sort of like natural oils, like hand oils or whatever, like if I were to run my hands through my hair, for example, and then touch the blade or touch the scales, you'll see some smudging, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to semi-polished finishes on tie. I think this is a success. I think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead, put away all my bullshit, and let's get the knife back together. I'm gonna leave the hardware as is. I don't really feel like it needs any kind of modification, so we'll see. I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? But I'll be right back. Alrighty, so what we got here is the final product. Now, it's not to say that this knife is done. There are plenty of things that still could be done to it. you know, blade finish, right? I could acid it, make it a little bit darker. It has this beautiful polish. I don't want to mess with that, right? All the steel components like the pivot, the Atlas lock itself, the clip, the body hardware, this little backspacer piece. I'm pretty sure that little backspacer piece is steel. Not a big deal, but yeah, I think this thing came out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What do you guys think of this knife? Do you think it's ugly? Do you think it's gaudy? Is this something you would want? Is this something you would never be caught dead carrying? Yeah, I definitely do enjoy it for what it is. And you know what? The day that I don't like it anymore with titanium, you could just throw it in some acid, start all over again. It's not really going to do anything to the fit and finish, especially at this tolerance level. There's a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this model and continue having a good time with it now with a little bit of visual flair, right? So I got plenty of other knives in my collection that I have plans for. I'm still trying to work on different color schemes and what, you know, things would go good with. And I am limited right now with types of finishes that I could apply. So this, you know, semi hand polish kind of work is something I'm good at right now. And I think it came out pretty good. I'm definitely happy with how consistent it came out, and the sheen is quite beautiful on it. I'm thinking that the color scheme that I did go with the blue and the gold, I think this is still going to hold up rather well, even if I do get a little bit of natural oils and smudges on it. I don't think it'll show up too much, but yeah, let's take a look at that. I think it came out pretty darn neat. So again, let me know what you guys think down in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I put my videos and content coming your guys' way. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.